Beth Daniel. This is my husband, Dr. Stephen Daniel, and we're the founders of QuantumTechniques.com. Really the finest, most comprehensive form of energy medicine in the world. And we are enjoying having new information given to us on a weekly basis. And this is one of the videos we want to share based on that new information. For those of you who are not familiar with the term Pyroluria, that is what we're talking about with you today. Part of why there's confusion is Pyroluria has so many other names. Cryptopyroluria, Hema something Pyroluria, Mauve factor, Malvaria. It's called several things. KPU for short, Cryptopyroluria. What is it? Why does it affect so many people and we don't know about it? Pyroluria, which is what I'm going to call it today, is widespread beyond what we ever knew. And Pyroluria is a condition that is either generational and genetic, can come on from chronic infection, but you have a genetic tendency toward it, and can come on from severe childhood trauma. What happens in Pyroluria is that it affects hemoglobin synthesis in the body. Why does that matter? Well, hemoglobin, being a major construct of the red blood cells, pretty important to the system and how one feels and functions and how their health is. What happens in Pyroluria, in short, is that there is an byproduct of hemoglobin that attaches itself to many critical minerals and drags them out of the body. So you are left zinc deficient, glutathione deficient, biotin deficient, magnesium, manganese, and other compounds deficient because of this condition. A simple urine test tells you if you have it or not, by the way. What has been found is that Pyroluria is very common in like 80% of Lyme disease, people with autism, learning disorders, depression, anxiety, Asperger's syndrome on the autism spectrum, Down syndrome. It's widespread in chronic non-healing conditions, and more is being found out about that now. That's why so many people are slow to heal from chronic conditions. They do all the right things, they take the right supplements or medications or whatever they're doing, they still don't get better and it's painfully slow. This is why. Well, we have a new way of healing Pyroluria. And I used to have Pyroluria and was tired my whole life and sick and chronically infected. And a lot of you know my story. If you don't, look it up on our website. But this new scan has literally changed my life in a week's time. You want to talk about the scan?
Well, I'm lucky I'm still married because sometimes there's a little homeopathic unwrapping of this, and she was not the happiest camper that you see in this beautiful video right now.
Major detox, a lot of fever, sore throat, earache, tired, sweating, insomnia. Yeah, only for
exhaustion.
7 days.
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah, I slept with the dogs to make sure I would wake up alive and safe. But no, but what it is, it's a way of saying, going into a miasm scan, there's 5 layers of that. What brought those frequencies into the body that caused this problem? On 5 layers, physical and non-physical, and that includes foods. And how can we address that within the body? This is a one-time treatment. This is not something you do over and over again. And it may take, like in Beth's case, very common, it may take 5 or 6 days before the body completely unwraps it physically. But once you do, I've got a few Lyme patients, for example, that I did this and one other one called MTHFR, and it tests after those 2 treatments, their body is detoxing, not 300%, 300 times effectively as it was before. And they have a lease on life they never had before. They couldn't detoxify heavy metals, limes, anything. without just feeling so bad, it wasn't worth going through the therapy because they weren't sure they could survive it.
Well, I thought I felt good until we did this scan, and now I feel so much better. I never thought I felt that bad. What happens is, and for me, I had the pyroluria part of it that was the hardest for me was chronic infections over my life. And ever since I was a child. And some childhood trauma thrown in there too. But as we did this, that's what was happening. Again, with quantum techniques, what the body can see, it can heal. So my body, for the first time, was seeing these chronic infections that were being, quote, hidden by the pyroluria. So, what a trip.
Well, and once that was complete, you stopped getting any new infections at all.
I haven't gotten anything new.
Right, it's like throwing a switch. It's like, oh, now we can see why that was a problem.
Yeah.
No new infections.
Yeah.
Which,
That's another piece of pyroluria. You get infections easily,
Right.
like by walking next to somebody with a cold. No more.
so, if you want to ramp up your healing, if you're looking at things like Lyme's, heavy metal detox, you can't detox mold, chronic illnesses, the things you talked about, autistic spectrum, Down syndrome, this is a one-time treatment, and then your body's going to be able to detoxify probably 300 times better than it's ever done before.
And we can also tell you if you have pyroluria
Right,
very quickly.
in a minute. Again, this is not a long treatment. It does not take long to do this. So if you want to change your life, call for a session, and we're going to help you turn some things around.
We're excited about this in
Yeah.
case you can't tell.
It's a blessing.